welcome back to my channel. This week I'm bringing you another Cook with G. But before we get started, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up so that way we can keep on growing. Now today we are cooking from Snackable Bakes, written by Jessie Sheehan. Now apparently Jessie Sheehan has a popular TikTok and blog and I think even a podcast, and I didn't actually know who she was until I was given this cookbook. Actually, I was given this cookbook by my boyfriend Brian, who you guys might know because he was recently featured in my dollar pizza video. If you haven't checked that out, that's been one of my favorites that I made on my channel of all time. So I'll have it linked above and down below. It's all about whether dollar pizza is still a thing in New York City, the history and all, all the fun stuff about pizza. So check that out if you're interested. But right now, we've got some baking to do. Let's cook. Or let's bake. Pistachio chocolate anytime buns. First off, I am definitely a sucker for a good cinnamon bun or any kind of, cardamom bun, things like that. And when I saw that it was chocolate and pistachio, I was like, sign me up, let's do it. I've also had like half a bag of pistachios for like a month now that I haven't known what to do, so I've just been eating them or like putting them in pasta. So I was ready to put them to good use. So let's get started. Also, I don't know, this might be the first time we're doing like real baking or baking only on Cook with G. I think I've done it in a bunch of quirky cookings before, which you haven't checked that series out. I'll also have that link down below. That's more for all vintage cookbooks in its short form. But this might be the first time we're baking or like really baking, This is just a baking cookbook. So it says to start with heating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get going. Okay, so we're gonna start with making the filling. So we're gonna take a lot of brown sugar, put that into, it's brown sugar, so you know what happened here. Also, does anyone have any tips for how to make sure that brown sugar doesn't turn into a hockey puck when you're storing it? Because I haven't done anything ever, and every time I'm always like, I need to figure out how people store brown sugar because it's solid as a rock every single day. But now I need to add in some almond extract, and that was salt, and then this is cocoa powder. Okay, so let's mix that a little bit, and then we're adding in a bunch of melted butter that's just cooled slightly. In goes our butter, and she says to mix it with a fork. So this is the filling that's going to go inside of the buns, which was also interesting because when I was reading the recipe, I was kind of expecting that it would be like the pistachios would be in the filling. Yes, they're not. But I thought they'd be in the filling. Like they would be filled with pistachios. But they're in the buns, like in the actual dough. So I'm super excited. I feel like it's gonna come out good. I have high expectations. So now for the filling, we're gonna add in our flour, brown sugar, which again, she's using light brown sugar again. Which is also still a little baking powder and baking soda. And then the last one is our salt. And so we're going to whisk all of this together. Gotta break out the brown sugar again. So the next step is something I haven't done before. She wants us to take our butter that I have cubed and refrigerated, and we're going to mix it in there with our hands until it says the butter is like crumbly and pea-sized. The only time I've really seen this technique is for like lamination, for like when you're making like a croissant or like a pastry or things like that, or like flaky dough. I've never done it, but I've seen it on the cooking channels. So we're gonna try it today, and so if, as I say in most videos, if something goes wrong that was clearly instructed, it's probably my fault. I will not knock it off when I, taste it at the end. But if you do have suggestions or tips for how to do this, we'll see how I go. And I feel like it'll be fun. So, confirmed. Very fun. Oh my god, this is not hard. I can't believe I thought this was gonna be hard. I was really like hyping myself like, oh man, like I don't know how to do this. My hands are going to be too warm, but it's like the perfect temperature out today. This is not that hard. You can, once they're like in the flour, you can kind of just like smash them up. So I'm guessing that this should create like little butter pockets when it bakes too. Okay, so now we're going to take whole milk and we're going to whisk that in with our fork, and apparently then our batter comes together. So this already feels like super easy. Is this supposed to be a crumbly dough? Okay, our batter is done, or our dough is done. So now it says just to turn it out onto our work surface. My dough is a crumbly mess, but it's combined. So I think we're gonna just turn it out and see. And then I should hopefully be able to, I wonder if she's using like a stand mixer. It doesn't say that, but hopefully this crumbly mess will turn into some bun dough. See, it's a dough, I think. It says just to knead it once or twice, but I think I need to get it to become a dough first. Hopefully these don't turn out too tough. Okay, so we got it to a rectangle. Now we're gonna take our rolling pin and we're gonna hopefully roll this into our, okay. I think it's working. I might need more space. Ah. Okay, go this way, go this way. Fold the two short ends into the center of the rectangle one at a time, overlapping them as you would when you're folding a letter. Oh, okay, so I would like that, and then, yeah. I've seen other people do this. Okay. Doing the same thing. So I guess this is kind of like, isn't this like what like lamination is? Am I thinking of the right thing? Okay, well this one seems to be going a little bit better. Look how big this is. Yeah, that's more rectangle. There we go. Okay, I feel like this is like a usable shape. Okay, how did I do? Give me a rating. I'll put my rating on the screen just for what I think I did in the future, because right now I feel good, but we'll see what the footage looks like in 2 business days when I start editing this. Okay, so now we're adding the filling. So we're gonna start with our chocolate brown sugar mixture. It says just to leave about 1/2 inch at the edges for the filling. Also, it has come to my attention, I was wrong. The chocolate chips and the pistachios are not in the dough, but they are in the filling. They're just not listed like that in the recipe. So I need to read a little closer to realize they're going to actually get put on top of this part of the filling. So, which is totally fine. But that made me think, like, would it be good in the dough? I don't know. It's her recipe, so I'm gonna see, but that could be a fun thing for me to try in the future if I'd like to practice this recipe more. But this filling looks amazing. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful, beautiful color. Also, I used just like a regular cocoa powder. It is Ghirardelli, so it's like a little like nicer like for baking qualities. However, she specifically says to use Dutch processed cocoa powder, and I couldn't find it. I tried really hard and nothing really said that. I've seen it online. I was trying to look it up. Just wanted to make that note. I don't think it's going to be like something that is going to really impact the taste, but if anyone knows anything about the difference between regular cocoa powder or Dutch processed cocoa powder, or yourself, you could put on the screen if you find anything, but I'm curious if anyone has baked with it before, like knows the difference. Okay, so now it's time to take our pistachios and our chocolate chips, and we're gonna just press them into this mixture. I'm just gonna take a handful, and it literally just says to like press them in, so maybe I just put them all down first. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I guess this is like a similar process for when you're making cinnamon rolls. I've watched many videos of people making cinnamon rolls, but never actually made them. So this feels, now let's add in our chocolate chips. Okay, so now we're just gonna press them in so they don't, I'm guessing this also helps them like not fall out when you're eating them. Okay, so now we roll it and hope that it's not stuck. Okay, so far so good. It just says to begin rolling it until a log is formed, and it says to do it tightly. So I'm gonna try and do this as tight as possible. And home run! Pinch them with your fingers to seal the seam. Okay, so we're just pinching the ends so we seal. I don't know how much we need to do, but I just did it like a Tootsie Pop. Now we're gonna cut it into 12 equal pieces, and it's gonna be time to bake. Okay, so use my bench scraper to cut this. All right, so let's start. Let's think about this. Okay, so we'll do one cut in the middle. We'll cut it in half and in half. 2, 4, 6, 8 again. Okay. Okay, in half. Already feels like the right size. In half. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Did I not do this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4. Okay, we're just gonna cut this one in half. That gives us. So they're not perfectly even. Yeah, I messed that up. I just had too much confidence from how well it was going, but it's okay because they're actually going into a muffin tin. So I just greased my muffin tin with some butter, and now just go and put them. It just says to kind of put them in, I guess, facing up. It just place them in the prepared muffin wells. Okay, I can do that. I can handle that. Oh my God, look at that spiral. Oh, I'm so excited. So we've got a couple questionable ones, and then these ones should be fine, but they look good. They look good. I'm excited. So this is going in for at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes until lightly browned and the skewer comes out clean, and then we'll see what's next. Okay, don't they look so good? Obviously, the ones that are a little bigger just got bigger, so I don't think it's a big deal. Honestly, I'm impressed with myself so far, so let's get them over to our little containers because we're gonna actually put them into some sugar. So it just says to remove them. We're gonna put them to our glass containers. Oh my gosh, they didn't stick. And I just brushed some butter into the pan. She said you could use cooking spray. She does like make a note about if they are to stick. Kind of just take the pieces and toss it with. So I don't know if these stick often, but so far, oh my gosh, look at that bottom. Caramelized goodness. So far, so good. I'm curious though if you've ever made anything like this, cinnamon rolls or any kind of like spiralized bun. Oh my gosh, look at that. Ah, so good. Very impressed. Okay. All right, and nothing really stuck. So my very old, I think this was a hand-me-down from my mom, muffin pan, still going strong. Still working. Now we're gonna take so much sugar. She says to toss them in it, but like they're delicate. I'm like worried that if I toss them too much that they'll fall apart, but maybe that's just me. So I'm just gonna put both half of the sugar on this one and then the other half on the other one. Oh my God, this is so much sugar. Do they really need, did I do the right amount of sugar? 1 cup. Yeah, 1 cup. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was just thinking we could put our lids on the containers and then give them a little toss gently. Maybe I should have just like tossed them. Oh yeah, see they like fall apart a little. Maybe it was too. Oh, but I see what she means. So that's not too bad. This is way too much sugar though. Okay, it is the moment of truth. We have our pistachio chocolate anytime buns, and I'm gonna let's break into it. Oh my gosh, look. Oh my goodness, isn't that beautiful? Look at all the layers. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, let's taste it. I did it. Okay, I'm so excited. Yeah, they turned out pretty good. I'm not mad about these whatsoever. I love the size of them. I feel like they're perfect for snacking. Obviously I made some that are a little bigger than others, so I guess it technically is supposed to be a little bit bigger than this ratio wise, but all in all I definitely would make this again. I feel like the bread is really nice, the chocolate flavor is delicious, and the pistachios come through perfectly. It's like this like nice little like nutty crunch, and I'm impressed with myself. This is obviously one of the first things I've ever made that is like this, so hopefully this is an opportunity for more. But there is an opportunity for more because I actually have one more recipe in store for today. So let's bake. Let's make it. Molten double chocolate mug cake. Now, let me tell you something. I have a bone to pick with mug cakes, and that is I have made many, many mug cakes that are horrible. I've completely failed. Now, one could blame user error. Now, there was probably a bit of that in it. However, I just love the concept of a good mug cake. I've seen them succeed for other people, but I just need one good mug cake recipe because, you know what? I just find it difficult to, you know, satisfy that craving when you want cake. You want like one individual little sweet thing that is just for one person. And to make that and in the microwave, I mean, this I feel like will fulfill that desire. But I have high hopes because the first recipe was awesome. Absolutely great. I will say, having now reflected, there was definitely too much sugar for the tossing. I probably could have just like dunked them in it anyways, not like actually shake them, even though that did work. But I feel like it was probably that much because you're kind of just supposed to put it in the whole like vat of it versus doing how I did it. I also think I would maybe prefer an icing. I don't know. That's probably too sweet. Maybe just a sprinkle or powdered sugar. I don't know. Maybe it was the right choice. But yeah, that was the only part that I wasn't really sure about. Either way, I loved it. It was great. It was awesome. Definitely want to make more things like it. But first, let's do our mug cake. So I am just taking this mug that I have. It's microwave safe. And I don't know how many ounces, but it looked big enough. It's wider, so I feel like it should work. And it says to start with adding in our oil. And then we're going to add in our sugar. And then we're going to whisk both of those together just with a fork. So that's the other thing that I was interested in is like, make it all in the mug. I don't have a dishwasher. This is my dishwasher. So I love when something is done in just one dish, easier cleanup. Okay, now that we have both of those in, we're gonna add our egg yolk, vanilla, and then our sour cream. So let's add in our egg yolk. Okay, and then our vanilla. Oh no, oh my gosh, I had my vanilla sitting out and it must have just like dried out for me. Okay, how much vanilla do we need? Let's add in our half teaspoon. Well, there's the mistake of the video. There's always one. Okay, so now we're gonna whisk that together. Now we get our sour cream. Okay, baking powder, salt, flour, and then cocoa powder. Okay. So now it says to add the flour and the chocolate chips, and that's it. Oh my gosh, this looks great. All right, this looks pretty good if you ask me. So hopefully it bakes good. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the microwave for a minute and a half. Now my microwave is fairly weak. It's only 700 watts, so I don't know if it's gonna need longer, but we'll do our minute and a half and hope that we get a mug cake at the end. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's still going. I don't think it's done yet. Just gonna wipe the side and then put it back in, perhaps. 12 to 14 ounces? Oh my. I think it's okay. I don't really want to show you a close-up. It doesn't look the best. Okay, we're just gonna go straight to it. We're gonna taste it, fingers crossed. And then we'll reflect. She did say it will puff up and then it will decrease. So, and not for nothing, the photo of the picture is definitely deceiving because if that mug is bigger than this mug, I would be shocked. I mean, look at it. Look at the mug next to my head. And like at the same time, it's a 12 to 14 ounce mug. So like, maybe this is only 10. I don't know. But that's big. Oh, we'll get to that. Let's try it. Okay. I think maybe I expect too much of mug cakes. I don't think this is necessarily bad. It's definitely, if you have the right size container, a really successful mug cake. And she does say to put vanilla ice cream on top. But obviously I just opted out of that. It's definitely not something you have to do. But it's not bad for sure. Like, it's cake. It's 100% cake. I just think of all the recipes in the cookbook, I might have picked the one that was the weakest because in my humble opinion, and again, this is probably why I think that maybe I expect too much of mug cakes. I just think if, like, do other people have 12 to 14 ounce mugs just, like, lying around? Like, a mug that is that big? Because I thought this was a huge mug, and I feel like I would have just loved a recipe that was, like, more accommodating to, like I'm making this in the microwave in a mug. Like, this is for someone to not have a lot of things in their kitchen and they like still want to bake and they're using a microwave, like a college student or like someone who lives in a small apartment. And it even says makes 2 for sharing. So like, I guess maybe that's like, I should have read that and been like, oh, this I guess could be halved. But like a lot of the ingredients are like 3 tablespoons and like I don't know. I just feel like having a recipe, like I would have just loved this in like a smaller quantity so that way it does, you don't have to worry about it coming out. That being said, flavor wise it's still pretty good. It's technically difficult to make a good mug cake, is what I like to believe because I've tried so many of them. So if anyone has any mug cake recipes that they like, I definitely would like to revive that. Either way, I loved the pistachio chocolate buns. I'm definitely going to make more recipes in this cookbook. It was a lot of fun. I'll link down her website and her TikTok and her social media and the cookbook in case you're interested in checking out more about Snackable Bakes. And that will be an affiliate link. I have an Amazon shop, so if you buy it, I'll get a small commission, but no pressure. As always, I am just so grateful that you're still here watching and supporting me. And we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I literally can't believe it. So let me know if you have any ideas for what I should do when I reach 1,000 subscribers. We're about 30, maybe 29 away, but who's counting? So hopefully that'll happen soon and we can all celebrate because this has been a great ride so far. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up so that way we can keep on growing. And I will be sure to catch you next time. Bye!